very, very excited for this next panel. These are the Young Entrepreneur panel, and I know a couple of these women, these young ladies. We have Maya Beaudry, who was a former Powwow Pitch winner, not because of her age, not in the youth category, but as a standalone winner. We have, hold on one second here. Let me just take a minute. Angie, Zachary of the BUT Bar, and Destinee Peter, Tangles Hair and Beauty Salon, who was also won an award from Powwow Pitch last year, and she has a great story about that and how she joined that. So can we please welcome them all to the stage?
Wonderful. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Good morning, everyone. Really excited to be here. Before we begin, I just want to give a huge shout out to NACA for the amazing event. I think many of us, this is our first event post-COVID, maybe, knock on wood, and it's just been incredible. So huge round of applause to NACA for all the amazing work they've done. All right, so I am so honored to be here to facilitate the wonderful panel that we have on youth entrepreneurship. I just want to quickly introduce myself to the crowd here. My name is Holly Atjecoutay. I am from Cowsas First Nation, Treaty 4 territory, but I'm super proud to call Treaty 7 territory, Calgary, Alberta, my home. I am the director of the Indigenous Entrepreneur Startup Program at Futurpreneur Canada. So we're super happy here to have three amazing young female entrepreneurs to guide us in the discussion, investing in the next generation of entrepreneurs. But before I begin, I just want to give a quick and brief overview of who we are at Futurpreneur and why I'm here facilitating the panel today. So Futurpreneur Canada is a national not-for-profit organization. We provide young entrepreneurs ages 18 to 39 with resources, financing, and mentorship to help them bring their business ideas to market. Futurpreneur provides pre-launch assistance, one-on-one support, business planning resources, and tools to start up financing and mentorship. At Futurpreneur, we support Indigenous youth entrepreneurs, helping them launch to buy their own business or start their own business with up to $60,000 in financing, an expert mentor for up to 2 years, and access to resources. We're here to help young entrepreneurs bring any idea to life in their business. In 2019, NACA and Futurpreneur signed a memorandum of understanding to establish a partnership to ensure Indigenous youth have access to the skills, mentorship, financing, and other resources they need to support their entrepreneurial success. In addition, Futurpreneur Canada has established partnerships with 12 of the Aboriginal financial institutions nationwide to improve referrals, deliver webinars and workshops together, and engage in co-lending. Together with NACA, we have established the Indigenous Youth Advisory Council, and we have 3 of the members here today having a discussion with us. We've launched the Indigenous Youth Entrepreneurship Role Model Campaign, and have launched a new research project to help us better understand the types of supports young Indigenous entrepreneurs are looking for to start and scale their businesses. So I'm super, super excited to be here to be the monitor of this conversation with NACA's Indigenous Youth Business Advisory Council, or as we lovingly call it IYBAC, because we like acronyms, so why not have another one? Indigenous youth, as we have heard throughout the previous presentations, are the fastest growing demographic in Canada. We also know that youth Indigenous entrepreneurs are growing at a faster rate than their non-Indigenous counterparts, which speaks to the entrepreneurial spirit that exists within our youth, as well as their innovation and leadership skills. We all have a responsibility and a role to play to support the entrepreneurial endeavors and the leadership development of our young entrepreneurs. Today, we are privileged to be in a conversation with and hear directly from 3 Indigenous youth business owners to learn about the types of support Indigenous youth are looking for to help them excel in business. So as Sunshine has introduced our 3 wonderful entrepreneurs here, I'll just do a quick roundtable one more time. Angie Zachary, owner of the Beauty Bar. And we have Maya Beaudry, owner and CEO of Kokom Scrunchies. And Destinee Peter, owner of Tangles Hair and Beauty Salon. So I'd just like to turn it over to our wonderful panel here to let each of them share a little bit about their business, where they're located, what are their services, how did you get started, and where can we follow you? How can we know where you are?
So I'm Angie Zachary. I am from Winnipeg, Manitoba. I'm from Tangles First Nation, and I own a salon, a full-service salon in Winnipeg. We do cuts, colors, eyelashes, waxing, skin services, kind of everything. We also do microblading, but we started basically as a makeup school, and I was paying fixed costs of a business 365 days a year. We only had like four classes a year, and so I decided that we needed a hair component, so I opened Winnipeg's first blow-dry bar, where we did hairstyling and makeup applications for special events. And then we just recently, 4 years ago, I guess it is now, lost a little time over COVID, but we moved over to a huge salon where we now do completely full service hair and makeup, all those aesthetic services now. And then I'll tell you a little bit more next about what we did during the lockdown. But so yeah, that's where I started, and that's what I do.
Wonderful. Thank you, Angie. Maya, let us know about your business and how you got started.
Hello, my name is Maya Beaudry. I'm the founder and the CEO of Kokom Scrunchies. It first started as a fundraiser because I wanted to host a special at a powwow. And if you don't know what a powwow is, it's where like all the Native people gather around and dance. And so I wanted to do a special for the youth, and so I needed like something to something to like put in my special, and so like I loved it scrunchies and I had Kokom material and like put that together and make Kokom scrunchies. So like I asked my mom if we could make like a scrunchie, and so my mom didn't know how to like make a scrunchie, so like I searched on like YouTube. And it was like easy and hard at the same time. So that's March 2020. I turned it into a business using Shopify.
Amazing. Wonderful. And for those of you who don't know, Maya does have a table out there. I'm sure everybody has hopefully purchased from Kokom Scrunchies or will right after this. Wink, wink. Destinee, let us know about your business.
My name is Destinee Peter. I am from the Atjecoutay Nation. I own and operate Tangles Hair and Beauty Salon located in Regina, Saskatchewan. I've owned it for 8.5 years now. I have a talented team of 5 experienced stylists and technicians, and we offer services such as haircuts, colors, lash extensions, laser services, microneedling, and skincare. We serve to men, women, and children in an always warm and welcoming environment. And how I got started was, I've always had a passion for the beauty industry, like doing hair. I've always been doing hair growing up, and always in trouble because I was cutting my sister's hair, coloring my hair growing up. And I enrolled into cosmetology as soon as I graduated, and I worked at the salon. I worked there for 3 years, maybe even 3.5 years, and I was about to move on to another salon, and the owner approached me and said she was going to close the doors if I left. So would I be interested in purchasing the salon? I was only 22 at the time, so I was like super hesitant and nervous, but I don't know, now it is a really good decision.
Amazing. Wonderful. So, open question to the panel here. Looking back, can you all think of any challenges that you may have faced when first starting your business?
I'll start. Definitely. So, definitely, I didn't have, first of all, I was a full-time university student. So I had zero money, but I had some pretty creative ideas, I thought. And I didn't really have a supportive family at all. And so gaining some capital accessing capital, to get my business open was definitely, and also writing a business plan. Ironing out kinks that I was unaware of, things like accounting and kind of stuff was definitely a struggle. So that was definitely a challenge doing the business.
Amazing. Thank you. Destinee?
So I feel like I had a few challenges with owning a business. Just being a young woman entrepreneur, Indigenous, having to face and overcome all those obstacles and like stereotypes and barriers. Finding that balance between building a family and a healthy balance between life, like my family and work. That was also a really struggle. I have 2 young boys, so having to deal with that. And another challenge was finding startup money at the beginning. I actually just used all my savings, so because I couldn't get approved through a bank, and I didn't know about SEEP or anything at the beginning, so that was a struggle in the beginning.
Wonderful. Not wonderful, but real, real, and really great for us to reflect on those and understand what barriers our young entrepreneurs face. Maya, did you face any barriers, do you feel, when you started your business? Was anything super difficult to get it going?
I opened my business in COVID, so I wouldn't say I didn't face anything, but since COVID, I had material. I would go to material stores, and I would feel the material if it's good for the scrunchies. And so since COVID, I've been relying on websites, and yeah.
So looking at for inventory, where to find the inventory and the best inventory for the best scrunchies ever. So that's great. I just wanted to reference, as I mentioned earlier when we began, that Futurpreneur and NACA have been working on an Indigenous young entrepreneur research project and pulling some information from young entrepreneurs and really understanding the gaps and the barriers that they face. And our panel here has also spoke to those right off the bat, which is really interesting. So firstly, when it comes to managing boundaries within lives, and I think you all really talked about that very eloquently, being a young mother, being a university student, balancing all the responsibilities and roles in your life while also being a business owner. So it is one that we found that Indigenous young entrepreneurs work a lot. Entrepreneurs work a lot, but Indigenous young entrepreneurs have a lot of varying responsibilities. They regularly feel challenged by managing the work of running their business alongside their other responsibilities. 68% of those surveyed had answered that they feel very overwhelmed. So just to kind of put us into context of what it really looks like to be an Indigenous young entrepreneur. Some other really interesting things that you have all brought up is, or Destinee and Angie, you've brought up around education and understanding what it means to run a business, and really looking for the supports that are out there. So again, in the survey, it has been concluded that Indigenous young entrepreneurs want more entrepreneurship education, especially in the areas of financial management, business law, and taxation. So something for us to keep in mind as service providers within the ecosystem to know what our young entrepreneurs are looking for. So based on that conversation, going on the flip side, who has been your biggest support or role model in starting your business? Who's been there to really help guide you, or who do you rely on? So I'll leave that open, and whoever would like to take that question.
I think my biggest support, okay, in the beginning, maybe like my mom and my dad. He had a lot of business skills that he taught me, and then my mom, because she's always there behind me at the salon cleaning up. Other than that, Steve has been, when I got to know Steve, like 3 years into owning my business, they were like my biggest supporters. So it's always nice to have your family, like your mom and your dad behind you, but when you have Steve, like an organization, all these organizations behind you, it means so much, especially when you're like feeling down and you don't think that you can carry on. It's really good for them to like lift your spirits and just checking in on you constantly. They don't just like leave you. They're always there behind me and like pushing me and telling me I'm doing really good. That's a great feeling.
Amazing. Maya, who's been your biggest support and your role model in starting your business?
I think my like family, because it was just like me and my mom, that like took the lead, and then like we were just like on like the kitchen counter, just like working, and so like my dad came in, and then it was like they're starting to get like a lot more orders, and so my brother came in, and now I have a big support team.
Amazing. Angie.
For me, like I said before, I did not have a supportive family. It's not that they didn't want to; it's just that they couldn't. So I heard through a friend of mine who works for actually another AFI in Winnipeg, L'Oreal Capital, to go and see First People's Economic Growth Fund, and that's where actually, ironically, I get to spend a couple days with Fabian Sanderson, who is now the GM at First People's Economic Growth Fund. And so I went there and I just kind of did a little bit of an interview, sort of ignorantly, blindly, didn't really know what the services totally were or anything like that. But I spoke with Fabian and kind of let him know my idea for the makeup school, let him know that there was a demand for that here, and that I knew that I could make this kind of money doing this kind of project. And he believed in me from day one, like totally had my back from day one. And honestly, if it wasn't for First People's, I definitely wouldn't have been able to make it possible because of the traditional banking system. So definitely, I would say I would give my credit to Fabian, I think. Is that you? Yeah, thanks.
So while we're on the subject of financing and startup funds and how you got your business off the ground, the survey again that we're referencing here today showcases 90% of Indigenous young entrepreneurs fund their business using their own savings, their own money. Were you able to, so we know you were able, both Destinee and Angie, you were able to access that support from an AFI. Can you kind of walk us through a little bit more around that process and what it looked like? Were you also investing your own capital into the business to get it off the ground?
So I was a university full-time student, so I had no money. I had no assets whatsoever. So I do remember going to the Royal Bank, traditional bank, where I've done banking since I was a kid. So I went in there and I basically said, I have this business plan done. I've been working on it for the last 9 months. It was like a totally viable business plan. And I went in there and, I had personal good credit, but I didn't have any assets, right? So they wouldn't even, and I needed to have a business that was running for 2 years. Well, I don't know how you're gonna have a business running for 2 years without being able to access any capital. So anyway, I went to the Royal Bank and basically, honestly, they pretty much embarrassed me and left and said that they couldn't do anything for me. Couldn't even give me, extension on my credit card to get it started. So thankfully, when I went to First Peoples, it was a totally different story. They got to know me by name. And by the time I actually finally had a good deposit to be able to put into, I did end up opening my business account, but I had no credit with my business account. So I had an incorporation, so I had a corporate account, but no money in there. So as soon as I finally got my grant and my loan, and I got to deposit a little bit of money, that was the first time in my whole life that I got a call from the Royal Bank saying welcome to the Royal Bank. And that was the first time that they actually, even knew my name. So I swore that the minute that my business started to monetize, that I would switch banks, and that's exactly what I did. So I'll never go back. Yeah.
So for me, I obviously couldn't get it approved from my bank, and I didn't have a co-signer since I was only 22 years old, and thankfully I had a lot of savings growing up, and I've learned that scarcity, hoarded all my money. So I used all my savings and bought the salon, and so when Steve helped me out, sorry, can you ask the question again?
Yeah, absolutely. Just your journey of accessing financing and what that relationship with the AFI looked like.
So yeah, Steve helped me with my first loan 3 years into owning my business, and they helped me with the grant, and they worked in partners with West, and also I went back to them a few years after that to expand my salon again, and they worked alongside BDC for my second micro loan, and actually I'm getting more recognition now. So just this past few weeks, my bank reached out to me and asked me if I need any help or support, and they want to work with me now. And I don't think I would go through a bank because I just feel just so thankful and almost like a family working with an AFI.
Absolutely. Yeah, so first off, kudos to you. Destinee funded all her whole savings and put it right into her business. How absolutely amazing is that for such a young entrepreneur? I just want to put some stats here again from the survey. 57, or sorry, wait 1 second here. Yes, 57% of Indigenous entrepreneurs are more comfortable reaching out to an AFI than they are a traditional bank. So that just shows the amazing work that you all do every day. One thing I've always realized, I've been working with Indigenous entrepreneurs now for roughly around the past 7 years. And when walking into the business development entrepreneurship world for Indigenous young entrepreneurs, knowing that at AFIs and at places like Futurpreneur, see our clients as people. They are people, they are not numbers, they are not a credit score, they're individuals. And one thing that I believe somebody at Alberta Indian Investment Corporation told me when I first started in my role working with Indigenous entrepreneurs was, it's never a no, it's a no right now, but let's get you to where you need to be. And so with that, we see that AFIs here in the room have taken a great chance on these wonderful entrepreneurs, and so many others that have contributed amazing economic resiliency to our Indigenous communities. So thank you all for the work that you do. So thinking about back to kind of your journey as a young entrepreneur, what is the best and most rewarding part of being an entrepreneur? Let's start with Maya. Maya, what's the most rewarding part of being an entrepreneur?
I think the most rewarding part of owning a business for me is when people like buy my products. I feel like I'm doing something right because I just like love when they are like so happy to pick out what scrunchie they want, and like it makes me happy. And like they on Instagram they would like send me pictures of them wearing it. That makes me like very happy that they're like wearing it and like I don't know, just like using my products. It makes me like really happy.
For me, it's like the freedom, obviously, being able to use the creativity, also giving back to the community, making people happy with my products, solving problems for people, for my clients, meeting so many fun, great people. Things like this is really, really great and rewarding. Yeah, I like everything pretty much about being an entrepreneur, but I would say the flexibility and the freedom is probably one of the best parts.
Amazing, thank you.
So for me, at first it was really difficult, I thought, just because I missed a lot of like the first of my first son, and that really got to me. But then during that first year, looking back and to see how far my business had grew during that first year from being born was super rewarding. Also, for me, just to be a strong role model for my community, and like now I get to go speak to like youth out in the community is such a great feeling. As well as I have a lot of youth within my family that they need that positive role model, and I'm so thankful that I get to be that person for them.
Maya, I'd like to ask you a question. So Maya's 11, for those of you who don't know. I have a 10-year-old daughter at home, and I look at Maya and I go, and her name's Tamaya. My daughter's name's Tamaya. I'm like, Tamaya, you should be starting a business like Maya. You have a year to catch up. So, but not many 11-year-olds start their own business. You're truly an inspiration. You're truly a superstar, and we're so happy that you're here with us to share all your secrets, because you have them. I keep telling her, well, wait 5-10 years and let's see where she's at. It's going to be so amazing. How do you do it all? So you're in school full time and you're running a business with employees. And what else do you do? Are you Wonder Woman? What's going on?
So I'm like a busy girl, and like I
Busy girl, absolutely.
and I really don't know how I like keep this all managed, but like my support team like help me like when I'm at school and just like during the week, and yeah, and so like mostly I just go over to their house on the weekend to like collect the scrunchies, so I could inventory and put them on my website.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody on the panel here. So as Sunshine had mentioned, Maya is a powwow pitch winner. Destinee is also a powwow pitch winner for Up and Comer 2021. 2021. We're twisting Angie's arm to also apply for powwow pitch this year. So, and also Angie did win an award at the Asper School of Business for University of Manitoba. So all three of these wonderful young Indigenous entrepreneurs are award winners and will continue to be award winners as we go through. So congratulations to that for that, and kudos. Angie, I want to turn it to you. And as the owner of the beauty bar, your business was shut down multiple times during COVID, the ongoing restrictions with the pandemic, and you were able to pivot quite amazingly and find a new way to keep revenue coming into your business. Can you chat us through that and let us know how you did that?
Yeah, for sure. So we were shut down in Manitoba 3 times, and for a long, lengthy period of time. Like one of our busiest times of the year is Christmas time. People are going to parties and New Year's parties and things like that. For 2 years in a row, we were completely on lockdown at Christmas time, where to the point where in Manitoba you couldn't even buy wrapping paper. You couldn't buy anything non-essential at any store. So if you went into a Walmart or a Canadian Tire, all of those areas, anything that was non-essential was completely taped off, and you weren't allowed to access anything. Only thing that you could do is go online. You can get curbside pickup. So we were like, essentially, people were supporting Amazon and not local businesses, which is what needed to be supported, obviously. What I did was I created this beauty box. So it's a box full of surprises, and it's basically, I got a whole bunch of other little local businesses on board, and so we supported all local businesses inside this little box. And so what I did was if say somebody, I asked for donations of like, say 25 pieces, like let's just say it's a bath bomb. And so if they donated 25 bath bombs, we then matched their donation for wholesale for 25 more bath bombs. And then what we did with the little beauty boxes is we got a whole bunch of business on board, and then we had people, like all the recipients, do a quiz of what they wanted. And so of things that they liked, so things that if they liked candles, or if they liked candy, or if they liked wine or coffee, things like that. So we checked it off so that, and different hair products that they liked. So then we were able to like fill the box with things that people enjoyed. So our pitch kind of to like these local businesses was to like, that we would get the products exactly in the lab, so people that would actually use your products and become future customers. So we ended up selling, and then also we donated part of the proceeds. So for every box we sold, we donated $10 to the Christmas cheer board. And so we also donated 3 boxes to the Health Sciences Center, which is for the first line workers, like all the nurses and stuff like that were dealing with the pandemic. So we donated a few boxes for that. And so it was kind of like a really fun way to give back to the community, but also to support local charity. And yeah, so we ended up selling 250 boxes, which was unbelievable. And so now what I've kind of expanded, because unlike restaurants were able to do curbside pickup. And restaurants really thrived during this because it was actually an essential, people need to eat, right? But owning a salon and selling shampoo curbside pickup, like people aren't going to buy a bottle of shampoo from you every single day, right? Mm-hmm. So it wasn't a way to still pay the like our hydro bill and our fixed cost bills and our rent that we had to pay while we were shut down. So anyway, it was a great way to pivot. It was also a really cool way to give back to the community. And now we have different boxes. We have a birthday box, we have a Mother's Day box that comes out, and all of them consist of a little quiz. You can buy them online, we can ship them out to you. And so now there's going to be a congratulations box. We have a little bridesmaid box that has all your little essentials in it. And when you open it, it says, "Will you be my bridesmaid?" So it's a cool way to propose to your bridesmaids, or will you be my maid of honor? The birthday box has like a little like horoscope candle, horoscope necklace. It has like birthday cake mix, like a little party hat, and all your little birthday essentials. So anyway, it's all on theme. Everything is on theme, and they're really cool. And if you want to see them, you can check them out on BUT.com, BEYOUTEE.com. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. But anyway, it was a really cool way to support local and also give back to the community charity-wise.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So definitely a huge pivot and innovation in the moment. What am I going to do? What do I like to do?
Yeah.
And how can I make it happen? And you did. And how many boxes do you have per theme of box?
Yeah.
Do you have a cap or?
Yeah. Well, like for Mother's Day, we thought we would cap out at like 50, but I think we're probably going to go more. But the first initial holiday box, everything was shut down. Remember, so we couldn't go to anywhere. Like we couldn't go anywhere, so we had to do everything like pretty much online or contacting people. But that one we thought we were going to cap out at 25 boxes. So we sold out in the first like literally 10 minutes. Then we expanded to 50. We're like, let's just, however many boxes people are going to buy, let's just fill them. Let's not like turn away any business right now. We can't afford to do that. So we ended up going to 250. But so now it's like we're yes people. If you want to buy a box, we'll we'll figure out a way to make it happen. Yeah.
And you said we can buy boxes on BYOUTEE bar.com.
It's phonetically sounds beauty, but it's spelled BEYOUTEE.com. Yeah.
Everybody take note. So we have boxes to buy. Awesome. Thank you, Angie.
Yeah.
Destinee, you have been managing Tangles Hair Salon for quite a while now. What type of support are you looking for right now to help you in your business?
I think helping me with marketing, just to get Tangles, like the name out more. And so honestly, with all the help I've been getting right now, getting my name out, it's really nice. But for the continued support would be great. Marketing, just to increase my revenue, so then I can eventually expand. That's my goal, is to expand.
Awesome. If we have any marketing experts in the house, please come to Destinee after, share your information. So Destinee, what type of support has the support that you've been looking for since 2013, has it really changed or shifted? Have you noticed that the support you needed back in 2013 is completely different now in 2022?
Yeah, so now I'm like looking to, I guess, just increase my revenue and marketing. But in the beginning, I was looking for like a mentor. I didn't have a mentor for like the first 3 years of running a business, so I was just like, didn't know any business experience at all, so I was all over the map. But once I found a mentor, they really helped me guide my journey where I am now. But that's always changed, my mentors. Like in the beginning, I needed a mentor for like all my startups and the struggles that I was going through then. And then I was looking for a mentor, a woman entrepreneur that had 2 kids or a child, right? And then that moved on to like more than 1 child. So what I needed is always changing for a mentor.
And just to be clear, right now, do you have a mentor, or do you have a lot of mentors?
So I am part of a local entrepreneur mentor group. So I get to meet. I've been with them for maybe 4 years now, and that's really helped. So I get to collaborate and meet other women local entrepreneurs, and that's always changing every year. And then
Awesome. No, that's great. Thank
now I'm a
you.
mentor.
Yeah. Now you're a mentor.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
They asked me to mentor starting out entrepreneurs through WESC now. So I love doing that because I love helping people that were in my situation in the very beginning, and like helping them or learn from my mistakes. That's really nice. And also Startup Canada is that women has asked me to mentor women across Canada. So that makes me feel really good.
That is amazing. I think that deserves a round of applause. Like, that's amazing. Maya, do you have a mentor? You don't have a mentor? You can be the mentor. Yeah, absolutely. Angie, what about yourself? Do you have a mentor that you rely on for support?
No, I don't actually. I've always wanted one, but I've always found that like there's not really women mentors. I don't know, maybe they're not available or maybe I just haven't met them, but I've kind of relied on men to be my mentors, um, people that are successful in business. But in terms of women mentors, I haven't found that at all. But there's a lot of really great men around, but I feel like it's kind of like an old boys club a little bit, and men's communication style with women is a totally different thing than women communicating with women. Um, Especially noticed that like with my different landlords that I've had, I found them very aggressive and sometimes intimidating. So that's been my biggest problem. But although I've like always looked at being a woman Indigenous business owner as a strength, not like a weakness, I've always found it worked better for me. But I've found a lot of men in power have been like more intimidating, more aggressive, and the language, their communication style is definitely a lot different than with women, the way that women communicate with each other. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong.
So definitely what I'm hearing is there seems to be a gap within that space,
Yes.
right? Within the mentorship space. And we have wonderful, amazing entrepreneurs like Destinee who have been through the struggle, have been looking for a mentor, as she mentioned. In 2013, that's what she was looking for. Starting out, brand new entrepreneur. Now she's giving back and being a mentor for those young Indigenous women entrepreneurs that are stepping on the scene to really be a guiding light and paving the way. And I think that us here in the room working for the prosperity of Indigenous youth and Indigenous entrepreneurship have to be very mindful and cognizant that there needs to be solutions here. We all know, I think we can name many Indigenous mentors, Indigenous women mentors, Indigenous youth mentors that we can find a solution, we can find a community, and ensure that doesn't happen again, to do the best of our ability to close that gap and make those resources available. But for the meantime, thank you for being that mentor for those that are coming, and we'll definitely vow to do better to try and find how we can find mentors for yourselves and for future entrepreneurs. I want to really open the question up of what comes next now. So we've heard your journey, we've heard you start, your access to financing, your investing your own funds, your own money, your sacrifices, your personal sacrifices, you're balancing all your different roles in life. But what comes next for your business?
So for me, I have a 3.5-year-old and my other one just turned 9 months. So just getting to my 9 months when he turns 1, and then I can like really dive deep into like my business again and give her, and working on like my marketing, what I want to really do better at, and just really just know that all like the tears and exhaustion and the sweat, like all that was like not done for nothing. and I think the business is starting to really take off, so it's really good.
And where is your business in Regina? Where are you located?
1325 Broadway Avenue.
Broadway Avenue. Remember that, write that down, 1325 Broadway Avenue. Amazing, so we can go on a road trip. We can start here, stop in Winnipeg, go to the beauty bar, and get some boxes, and then our drive will be long to Regina. We'll take the scenic route, and then we'll stop at Destinee and at Tangles Beauty Salon. Amazing. Maya, what is next for you?
I think I just want to like make more products. The one thing that I really want is to open a store in Kitty where I'm from, and like hire the youth. Because if I can do it, I feel like anyone can do it. And so for like right now, I think what's next is just like making more products, and I'm releasing a bucket hat in the summer, so stay tuned. So yeah, I just think like keeping it slow right now and like making scrunchies, and then like get real into it with like clothes and stuff like that.
Amazing. I am so excited for the bucket hat. I don't know about everybody else, but my daughter loves bucket hats. She has so many of them. I remember when I was like her age or maybe a few years older, bucket hats were the thing. So we just get a Kokom Scrunchies bucket hat, put it away for, or wear it like every day, and then put it away in like a time capsule for like 10 years. It'll come back into fashion. So fashion works, right? So super excited. We should all be watching Instagram, waiting for the drop of the bucket hat and all the cool stuff that you're going to release this summer, did you say?
I think it's this summer.
This summer. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, we will keep an eye out. All right, Angie, what is next for Beauty Bar?
Well, over the pandemic, I've just noticed like a big change in salon life. A lot of people are learning how to do without a lot of beauty services that they were before, so it's definitely shifted and changed. So my plan is to kind of move out of bricks and mortar and not necessarily saying that I want to like exit my business, but I want to focus on. I am creating an app right now, so I'm just working with a company called North Forge in Winnipeg, and it's a technology innovation company. So I'm working with that right now in development. I have the drawings done, so I can't really say too much about what it is, but it's a beauty app, and it's going to be definitely solving a lot of problems that we have when it comes to beauty services. So I'll keep everybody posted as soon as I can. But so my plan is to work towards this new technology that I'm creating.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Just so I'm clear, is there another dry bar in Winnipeg now, or are you still the only one who has a dry bar in Winnipeg? Or do you still have a dry bar going?
So I did have like a small, it was a small little 6-person blow dry bar, which was called, that's where the beauty bar started. And then, but then I moved into, so I had my school and my blow dry bar in 2 little locations around the corner from each other. So it was in the same building, but 2 little different spots. And then now I've moved into like under one roof. So I still have it, but it's now full service. So it's not strictly what we do anymore.
It evolved and innovated into a
like
full service.
Yeah, like
Wonderful.
a huge 4,000 square feet.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So
and we have about 20 employees. Like it's way bigger, but yes, we do blows all the time, but that's not all we do anymore. We used to just specifically do styling, hairstyling, and makeup applications and brows, but now we do everything.
Amazing. Destinee, how many employees do you have?
There's 5, but they've all been with me for pretty much from the very beginning. So I have like very little turnover, which that's
means a lot.
Amazing. And Maya, how many employees do you have?
I think I have like 6 or 7.
Wow.
I just hired like new employees. I have like my 3 support employees.
Wow. That is amazing. I would love to be your employee. I would love to be like, have an interview, a formal interview with Maya to be one of your employees. That is so exciting. All right. Well, before we wrap up here, I'm cognizant of time. We've got about 10 minutes left with the group here. So definitely, I'll just do a little bit of reflections here. But if you have any questions for our wonderful panel and all the things that they've been through, all the endurances, COVID-19. Maya started a business during COVID-19 and is amazingly successful. All three, this didn't mean to be an Indigenous women's youth panel, but that's what it turned out to be, which is very fitting and amazing, right? Our young Indigenous women. I want to just really acknowledge all the hard work that you've put in, as I mentioned before, the juggling of all the roles in your life. Maya failed to mention, you not only are the CEO and founder of Kokom Scrunchies and a student, a full-time student, but what's the other things you're taking on right now in your extracurricular time?
I play hockey and I do jiu-jitsu.
I don't know. Wow. And I don't know how she does it. Yeah, like I said, you're a little Wonder Woman. And then Destinee just had a baby 9 months ago and are already like giving yourself a year before for a year for your baby to turn 1, and then you're saying you're going to give her again and get back in there. So amazing the sacrifices that you've all made to make your business successful. And we see you, we recognize all the hard work that you've done. How can we find you and how can we buy from you and support you? Aside from everybody going out right now and Maya not leaving here with any inventory. She cannot leave with anything. We have to buy her out. But how can we find you? Let's start with Angie.
So for me, I am on the Beauty bar, so it's the BEYOUTEE bar. Drives me nuts explaining how to spell my salon name, but anyway, so it's the BEYOUTEE bar on Instagram, and then for the box on Instagram, it's at the BEYOUTEE box. And my website is, like I said, beut.com. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
Perfect. Thank you. Maya, besides being outside, where can we find you?
You can find me at kokomscrunchies.ca. You'll find my website. For Instagram, it's kokom_scrunchies, where you can find my page and where I post everything. And Facebook is Kokom Scrunchies, but we're not really active on that, so.
Okay. Facebook, we've heard, is an old people's thing, right? Apparently, I don't know.
Facebook's over.
Okay, Facebook's done, I guess. I don't know. I've yet to get the memo. So Instagram, Destinee. Where can we find you?
So my Instagram is at Tangles Hair and Beauty, and my Facebook is Tangles Hair and Beauty Salon, and my website is www.tangleshairandbeauty.com. I'm actually redoing my website right now and changing over platform, so I will be adding a store.
And you're on Broadway Street. Broadway Avenue in Regina. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time here, for traveling here to be a part of this panel. You've been so open and authentic with everything that you've shared with us here today, really giving us the whole purview of what it is for an Indigenous young entrepreneur to be successful and all the hard work that you've put in. I've heard quite a few themes throughout our conversation here today, really starting with the stereotypes and barriers that Indigenous entrepreneurs and Indigenous women entrepreneurs face, and obviously very breaking those barriers down thoroughly here. Building a family, doing all of the various responsibilities at jiu-jitsu and starting innovative techniques and ways to continue your business through a pandemic, keeping your business alive. So definitely wearing all these different hats. Financing and the fact that you're putting in your own financing and your own savings into your business, but then having that support from the Aboriginal Financial Institution Network to really be a guiding light, and not only in financing, but I've heard other areas as well, that expertise, and you have that support system with your support officers at the financial institutions. So and then I've heard that family has been a big support for many of you, for both of you, Destinee and Maya, and Angie, that you've really relied on your network of entrepreneurs within the Winnipeg area, and have leaned on support from a lot of different professionals. So, but I hear you that we need to do better when it comes to mentorship. We need to find solutions for our young Indigenous entrepreneurs. I've also heard about pride and creativity, and that giving back to community, being a role model and stepping into a role model capacity. Destinee needs marketing support, and we need to have mentors with lived experience. So thank you all so much for spending the time here today. If we have any questions, would love to welcome some. We have a question right here. I'm sorry, I didn't see you. I should look over that way. Goodness, okay, over to you.
Thank you very much, Jody Anderson, Indigenous cross-country team in Beaudry. I want to start out by saying congratulations to you all. This has been an incredible story for us to hear, and thank you for allowing Indigenous women to look and feel beautiful. I think that's so important for women of all ages, so you have shattered the ceiling in that aspect, so congratulations there. I also want to say thank you for sharing your experience around the financing. I work in the financing industry, and I want you to know about that as our issue to figure out those barriers and how to remove them. It has nothing to do with the entrepreneurs. We need to do better as a community to make sure that you have the support systems in place to thrive. So thank you for sharing that, and we hear you on that. The other thing that I heard is the shared success about working with First Nations-led institutions, and having those support systems in place creates a more successful environment for everybody, not just entrepreneurs, but communities as a whole. So thank you for saying that. And challenge everybody, both all corporations, Indigenous and non, when you're looking for giveaways or event gifts, support Indigenous businesses, because this is exactly who you're supporting, and I can't think of a better way to lift up our economy and lift up our community. So we wish.
Fabian Sanderson, First People's Economic Growth Fund. I'll start off with Maya. How awesome you do jiu-jitsu. Both my boys, I'm a huge fan. But I got goals. We started a business. My boy's 9, so I got some high goals for him. Round of applause for this young one again. Amazing. I've had the pleasure of getting to know Destinee over the past couple of days, and I think it's phenomenal what you're doing with your business, your growth, your planning, and it's so exciting to see the young, Indigenous women that are rising up in today's economy. It's fabulous. It's what we're looking for at our corporation. And for mentorship, Angie definitely humbled me today. I love what you're doing. I always have. I hope that you guys can really lean on each other as well. Destinee, please lean on Angie. You talked about how you don't know where a mentor is for you. But I want to just take a moment to brag about Angie. She is the mentor. She's that person I think that people can lead and rely on. And I just want to say kudos. You've always been fantastic. You've grown. Not that everybody can grow. We're always always continually changing and growing, but you know, my hat's off to you.
Thanks for coming back.
Good morning, ladies. That was amazing. Lee Zachary, General Manager of MDDF in Yellowknife. And I want to say we own a business services company in addition to having the Capital Corp. And I noted throughout all of that, you know, we come to these each and every year as AFIs and general managers of AFIs, and there's lots of talk about capital. You know, we need more capital, we need more capital, and the access to capital. And I think the piece that really stood out to me in listening to you guys, and it was noted, is that in addition to finding capital, there are so many different things that you need to do to run a business. You know, understanding, you know, what happens with tax, like just so much. And I think what I want to remind everybody in the room while we have you guys here is not only do we need to do a significant amount of work in getting capital for all our organizations so we can get that capital out the door to all the entrepreneurs who need that. But most of those business services and our business service companies, well, they're all fee for service. So those are things that, you know, they don't get handed to you. Yeah, you have to find a way to navigate through and deal with the dollars and cents that all of these things cost. We need to work hard to find a way to make those things more accessible and more affordable to our young entrepreneurs, so that not only the stumbling block of capital can we get fast, but the stumbling block of all the things that we're going to need to continue to support those businesses and grow them into the future. So that was clear to me in your story, and I just wanted to make sure everyone understood. That's a lot of work that we have to do. So great job, everybody.
Amazing. Wonderful. Well, we thank you again, ladies, for spending the time with us today. It's been my pleasure to sit here and have these discussions with you. And we look forward to supporting you as much as we can in all the journeys that you have going forward. So round of applause. I will send it back over to Andre.
Okay, folks, we're on a tight schedule, so before you run out, make sure you're back by 12:40, let's say, please. So go grab your food, come back, sit down. We have Minister Haydu, who's going to be speaking very shortly. Apologize for scrunching your scrunchies, for squeezing your lunch short. So please come back at 12:40, please.